And hello again, everyone. I'm Todd Richards, KFES 12 Sports Director, easy for me to say, and this is the Toddcast. And we are excited to be here. Man, am I ever fired up to have you guys with us. Ty Thomas, a Jackson native. He is a national champion swimmer, international champion swimmer, one of the greatest accomplishments this area has ever seen in this sport and beyond. And especially for the 18 and under, we're going to talk about that, where his career is going and how he's doing. And this is Bobby Brewer, River City Aquatics coach, and also Ty's coach, has played a big role in the success. And I'm just going to make sure you guys stay close to that mic because we got some important things to say as we go ahead and get started. My voice is so loud, so you got to keep up with me, but I'm excited to have you. And first of all, Ty, coming off a championship and the success you've had, it's been, how do you describe it?
It's truthfully been a surreal experience because, I mean, it's got me to opportunities that I never thought I'd experience in this sport, and it's just been great.
You know, to talk about some of the things you've accomplished, you know, I'm going to go ahead and let your coach and let Bobby kind of, you could do a better job than I could on that, Bobby. So kind of talk about what Ty has gotten done here in the last couple of big meets.
Yeah, so we started off last December. He was the high point winner at Junior Nationals, so scored more points than any other athlete in the entire nation at that event. Then we went to Nationals this summer, where he won 18 and under division national championship and qualified for Junior Pan Pacific Games, where he went on to win a gold medal in the 4x100 freestyle relay.
So, where do you go from there, Ty? How does this work out from here?
Well, so going further, it's basically you start back at the bottom because it's called shore course season, so it's a completely different length of pool, but it's mainly what they use in college. So we will run that through about February, and then we will start long course back up, which is where you qualify for Junior Pan Pacs, national champion, and all that. And this summer they will have Junior Worlds, so the qualifying meets in June, and then I think it's in around July to August, but I don't know where it is yet.
And what we're talking about, and certainly not trying to overplay it, but I definitely don't want to underplay it. These are the best swimmers in the world this age, right? Mm-hmm. So you're competing against, and one day we'll look at some of these swimmers and we'll see them in the Olympics.
Yes, like some of the teammates that I had on this team were already national champions for the 18 and over. Like they are the fastest in that event at that meet out of everybody that swam, and yes, there will definitely be Olympians.
Man, that is unbelievable, and that's almost like some of the fastest in the world.
Yes, very. Yes, one of the guys, he's like top 3 in the world this year. He's 17 years old.
That puts a lot of that into perspective, to put it lightly, and that's why it's so important. I'm so appreciative to have you guys on. So, okay, so now this is where you're at. You have still a ways to go in your career, but this is a pretty crucial time. How are you training? How are you getting ready? And what do you do on a kind of a daily and a weekly basis?
So it's a lot of, like, you focus on swim. My whole life I've been focused on swim and school, swim, sleep is about how it goes. So I will go to school, and then I'll usually, it's called Swim Strong Dryland. It's our dryland program that we do. It'll run me through a dryland program that keeps you fit outside the pool. And then I will go meet up at the pool. We'll swim for an hour 45 Monday through Friday, 2 hours on Saturday. And it's just you go at it and train, get better.
When did you realize that this was for you and that you wanted to do it for lack of a better term, for your life?
I honestly never really knew because I started when I was 4 years old, and it was apparently my parents said that I wanted to start swimming it, which I've combated them many times. I feel like they forced me into it sometimes. But I guess it was around probably when I was 10. Yeah. I got one of our LSC records, and they were like, "Oh, he's not doing bad at this." So they kept me going through and got me to where I am today.
All right, I have a question for both of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and start off with you, of course, Ty. How do you push yourself to that level? Because it seems to me, and we'll talk about that with Bobby in a minute, that's what separates the good swimmers from the great and Olympic swimmers. How do you do it?
It's pretty much just knowing that there's no limit to what you can achieve. Like, it's just knowing that you can train this hard or you can train harder. So you have to choose whether you want to take the next step or if you want to stay where you're at and basically just still be great, but the next step is the one that'll make you become better than great.
So for somebody like myself or people out there who like their fitness, but they're to what level? How did you go to that next level? Is there something inside you that you know that, hey, I got to push it to this straight, or is it natural?
It's natural, and it's also watching competition, because competition will never slow down. It'll only ever speed up. So it's realizing that, hey, these guys are getting quicker, and so it's possible. So let's do that or be quicker.
We're going to get your medals out of here a little later because I want to see these, but I want to talk with Bobby for a second because there's a connection. Bobby is not only the coach of Ty, but also, this is pretty crazy, you swam and won a national championship yourself, right, in the same event. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
At the same age as Ty, I had the exact same event, won the same event, qualified for the exact same team, and we actually ended up going to the exact same location for the event. So I was there when I was at his age, so I've got the experience.
How long have you been working with Ty?
Ty, since you were about 12.
I think 13 I moved up, but I was barely 13.
Well, I knew you before that, but yeah, so it was since he was about 12.
So somewhere around the 5-year type range. That's a long time, a lot of hours in the pool. When did you recognize his talent?
Probably around 12. The difference between Ty and other athletes is Ty was consistently coming up to me and saying, I can do that better, coach. I can do it better. Before I even had to say, you can do it better, which I say all the time, he was saying to me, I can do that better, and then we would collaborate on whatever those things were that he could do better.
And, let's talk about the daily grind. That people don't, they see what's outside. Hey, look how glamorous that is when they watch those, and of course I can identify with a lot of the Olympians when you watch the swimming event. It's, one of the favorites, and you see Phelps and all these guys over the years and everybody walking up. But how about the grind outside? How hard is that? Let's start with you. How hard is it?
It's pretty hard because you have to take sacrifices of being a normal teenager to be at this level. So it's like in bed before 10 o'clock every night, and it's watching diet, it's everything is kind of just making sure, because there's always just the little edge of making sure you do that right.
And I guess if you don't, somebody else is, right?
Yeah, there's always somebody that's going to be working harder than you. It's the rule of thumb.
Absolutely. And Bobby, how do you see it as far as how do you help motivate? How do you help stay positive? With Ty, how do you do it as a coach?
Well, as he just said, the whole tagline for my type of training is the pain is the product, recovery is the weapon. The one thing that Ty can do is he can handle more pain than anybody I know, at least in my pool, and that's the key. If I'm pushing him, he's seeing how far he can go even beyond that, right? But that doesn't happen if you're not really well recovered. So it's those 24 hours in between workouts that make the difference. Is he eating right? Is he getting all the sleep? Is he doing the dry land exercises, all those kind of things? That's the big difference. That's the fully committed 24-hour athlete.
And how much is it talent and how much is it of work ethic that has allowed Ty and obviously some of the other athletes across the country and the world to achieve what they achieve?
You can't ignore talent, but I would argue that talent comes from hard work, right? Because he's worked hard and all he's done since he was young. So I would say that, yeah, of course there's a level of talent and genetics. He's got good genetics, I'm sure, but it's that you can't do it without the hard work, and that's just as simple as it is.
What's a workout like for you outside the pool first? What are you doing, just so people can kind of understand what a swimmer does, not just in the water?
So Swim Strong has it do it where we have 6 days a week workouts. And it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can classify it as weights, but it's a lot of mobility with weights. So we have pull-ups, push-ups, and then there's landmine press where you have one end of the bar down, you press up on the other half. And then they'll do deadlifts and stuff like that. It's very mobility focused. Basically, it's focused for a swimmer to make sure you don't get like too tight in one area, but you make sure your mobility is good in every area.
Every exercise relates to something they're doing in the water.
I got you. So it's all kind of geared that way, and you just keep working toward that direction. Okay, when you look ahead now and you look at where you're going and with your swimming, what do you see as your future and some of your goals? Because, man, the big events, Olympics and other things, they're coming up fast. How do you see this thing playing out, or what are you working toward?
So obviously every kid's little dream is being an Olympian, so it's obviously one of my dreams, but the main focus is I'm going into college next year at the University of Louisville to swim. So I'm wanting to make sure that I can do good for that team and hopefully produce some NCAA championship, like swims and maybe a team with them.
How good is Louisville in swimming? I don't know.
They're good. They're top 15.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot of a hard choice of I love the guys, I love the team, I love the coaches. So it didn't really matter how good they were for me, but yeah, they're still a top 15. I think they got 9th this last year.
So, college is certainly right on the horizon for you. You attend Jackson, finishing up at Jackson, but you didn't swim high school, but instead the club type activities, these other activities. Did you make a decision where you thought you could just get more time in the pool, or was there any reason for that?
For not doing high school
Yeah.
swim? So my brother did it his freshman year.
Yeah.
And for swimming, I kind of say it's like gymnastics. You don't really ever hear of like high school gymnastics. You get recruited for college through the club sport. So my brother did high school swim his freshman year, and the big meet winter juniors that he was talking about that I won is right after state. And if you don't do it right, that meet you can because you'll rest for state, and then you can't rest for that short but long set of period.
Sure.
So it was just realized that high school swim was not a necessary thing, and it was better to do club for everything.
And I'm sure you'd have loved to have done it if you could have
Yeah.
worked it in. I
Yeah.
could see it. I could just by your tone, it would have been awesome. But you sometimes you got to make these decisions, and obviously it's the right one.
Yeah.
For where you're going right now, everything you've done is pretty darn amazing. And we're going to circle back with you in a second. I am going to shift gears a little bit with Bobby, of course, the River City Aquatics coach. And talk about where you guys are training and what you see out of maybe some of the other swimmers kind of coming up through the ranks and what you're doing to make a difference.
Yeah, sure. River City Aquatics has had an amazing history of amazing athletes. You'd be surprised how many great swimmers have come out of our area all the way back into the 70s. So just trying to continue that, tradition and the thing that happened to us is you had COVID. We lost a ton of members during COVID, just because that's what it was. And then literally right after COVID, they needed to remodel the pool, which is, we get it. We love the pool we have now, but it meant two years without that facility. So we got down to a very small team, and I think, it's not top of mind for a long time. Well, we're back now. We've got a full pool, and we're rebuilding. So we've got River City Swim Academy for little kids, 6 months and older, and then we've got all the way up to elite like Ty, and we're building them from babies up right now.
So Ty, you go from where kind of like a kid, for lack of a better term. You move on up the ranks. Now, with the best in the world, you're hitting that water and competing against the best in the world. Let's not sugarcoat this at all. What's it like on the international stage? Because most swimmers, I wouldn't think the percentage is probably something like that ever get that chance. What is that? Kind of describe what those meets are like.
It was electric because it is, such a small percentage. There was 20 guys, 20 girls representing the USA at this meet. So once you step foot on that pool deck, you know you're USA, because USA's been the best country at swim for a while now. So you even notice it from the international, like other teams coming around. And it was also just weird because I'd never been to a meet where all you could do was give thumbs up to some of the guys because they don't speak the same language as you. So it was a very unique experience that it truthfully makes you want to keep getting better because it was such a great experience.
And when you talked about what would you consider the best part of it, because you're saying the experience, if you had to say this is something that I just had to pinch myself.
Yeah. No, it was by far just the Team USA. It was every single one of those guys. It doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter your background at all. You guys are brothers, your teammates, you're USA. So everybody's cheering on everybody, and it was just an electric experience.
And can we see the medals that when you being on that podium, I'm sure is hard to beat. If you kind of maybe just lift it up for us a little bit there, if that's possible. I don't want you to have to do something out of your comfort zone with it. And which one's that?
So this is the national championship medal, and it says on this side, since it was the 18 under, it says it specifically that it was the 18 under first place medal. And then this one, it's wood. It's made of wood. I never thought I'd get medal made of wood. It was for the junior Pan Packs, and it was for the 4x1 free relay.
So when you get these now, was it ever in your dreams that you'd come back with medals like this?
No, I mean, it was an incredible thing because that event, that I won that in, I was not going to be swimming that at that meet 2 weeks before. We decided, you know what, let's just do this. It'll be a good event to swim, maybe have a little fun with it, and we never would have I didn't expect to be winning it. So.
What was it like? What was going through your mind when you're standing up dry? You know, I'm sure it was an Olympic type setting, wasn't it? When you stood, what was that like?
It was surreal because I was the only one from my team there, but the University of Louisville was there. So I had a team with me there basically. So they all start cheering. I had buddies cheering me on. There's every parent in the stands just clapping for you. So it was because it's you and one other guy that was up there since it was the 18 under national champion. So it was insane just because everybody was cheering for you and they're excited to see what you can do.
Well, I can see why. We'll get back to it in a moment here. How much gratification do you take, Bobby, working with Ty and to see what he was doing and just being able to watch from afar? I guess at some meets and some you're a lot closer. But what are your emotions and what have your emotions been like?
Amazing. I mean, again, like you said, we didn't go in expecting to even swim that event, much less win it. And for it to be the event that I actually used to do was it meant a lot to me. It really meant a lot to me. But no matter the event, ultimately seeing Ty from 11, 12 years old coming all the way up through it and knowing back then that was a possibility to see it actually happen and knowing what's available there for him in the future is really a lot of fun to watch.
And how do you see his future playing? I'll give you the crystal ball for a second.
Oh, he'll be on the Olympic team. You'll see him on the Olympic team.
And I look at your eyes and I see a face of an Olympian. So it's almost emotional for me to have. I've only been around you for a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your chances of being on that Olympic team right now?
Obviously, I feel very great right now. It still is a very dense competition because there's kids my age that haven't, it's called a spurt, where you get to the level and then you have to be able to hold on to it. So there's guys that aren't even, they're not even on your radar that'll be in that field to race. And you'll also have to race veterans, guys that are up almost in their 30s, who are you have to race every age that's at that meet, and anybody that's at that meet could win it.
And what would it mean to you to be on there and bring back gold to the United States and to have that?
It'd be one of the best feelings that I feel like I'd ever have in my life because you're doing something bigger than yourself, but you're also doing it for yourself because you're bringing it back for USA. You're representing a whole country. It doesn't. They were talking. They're like, it does not feel real until you are on that podium, how you've done this for a country and not just yourself.
I just have to ask this question then, because you've pretty much answered everything in a beautiful way. When you're not swimming, what do you do to chill out?
It's a lot of I like hanging around the house because whenever we're swimming, it's high heart rate, everything, energy. So it's nice to decompress like that. And then I go play pickleball with my friends on Saturdays.
Now you're talking my game a little bit in the past.
Yep.
But that's fun. So that's funny that you can do that a little bit and pick it up.
Yep.
Do you do anything to kind of keep him loose sometimes?
Yes, because the one thing about Ty is he can handle more pain than anybody, and he's literally seeking it. So I have to dial him back sometimes. That's as a coach, I have to dial him back sometimes.
All right, I asked my one surprise question. I'm trying to think of a good one for you. I think you kind of tipped us off there a little bit, but what is maybe a hidden talent that people might not know from Ty Thomas?
I can juggle and do a backflip.
Perfect. I couldn't end it any better than that. Ty Thomas, hope to see you in the Olympics one day, and thank you for making it onto the Toddcast. We appreciate it. Bobby Brewer, back to you as well. And again, appreciate you guys. You might be seeing this young man. I'm betting on it. His coach is betting on it in the Olympics one day. Thank you for watching the Toddcast, and have a good one, everybody. We'll see you.